Hello dear students, welcome in our video lecture of redox reaction. This is our, I think, 7th or 8th lecture on redox reaction for English medium students. There are separate videos for Gujarati medium students also, and you can find the link by clicking the I button over here. Okay, so in our previous video we have discussed about the types of redox reaction. There are 4 types: addition, then decomposition, then displacement of metal and displacement of non-metal, or substitution you can say, and the 4th type was disproportionation. We have discussed the first 3 types of redox reaction, but in this video we are going to discuss only on disproportionation, that is the 4th type of redox reaction. So first of all, let us try to understand the definition of disproportionation. So take your note and pen with you and let us start. So I am going to write the definition of disproportionation. The redox reaction in which a single substance is having oxidation as well as reduction is known as disproportionation. That means this is a kind of reaction in which the same substance will have oxidation as well as reduction. So a single substance is oxidized and that substance itself is reduced also. Let us take an example. Suppose if I write the equation like this, 2Cu plus 1 gives Cu plus 2 plus Cu. Now this is the beautiful example of disproportionation. Now let us divide this reaction into 2 half reactions. First of all, here we have 2Cu plus 1 ion. That means if 1 Cu plus 1 ion donates 1 electron, that means it loses 1 electron, then it will be converted into Cu plus 2. So this reaction in which the oxidation number of Cu plus 1 is increased to Cu plus 2. So increase in oxidation number is known as oxidation half reaction. So this is our oxidation half reaction. But the electron which was lost by Cu plus 1 is gained by another ion of Cu plus 1. So one Cu plus 1 is donating 1 electron while the other Cu plus 1 is accepting that electron. In that manner it will be converted into neutral copper atom. Cu plus 1 accepts 1 electron and it becomes Cu. Now gaining of electron or decrease in oxidation number plus 1 to 0, that means it is a decrease. So it is said to be a reduction reaction. So oxidation and reduction are happening in same species. Cu plus 1 is oxidized and the same Cu plus 1 is reduced also. That's why this reaction is known as disproportionation. So this is the finest and simplest example of disproportionation. A single substance is having oxidation as well as reduction, then such reaction is known as disproportionation. Now let us take the second example. Suppose if I write H2O2 and it is decomposed to H2O and O2. So here this is hydrogen peroxide. Now if you balance this equation, then you will have 2 molecules of H2O2. Now let us balance it. Here we have total 4 hydrogen. To make this 4, we will multiply it with 2. And oxygens are also 2 to the 4. So here 2 plus 2 is 4. Now it is a balanced chemical reaction. Same H2O2 molecule is oxidized as well as reduced. Now let us take it out. Here the oxidation number of oxygen in hydrogen peroxide, now you know very well, it is -1. So oxygen in hydrogen peroxide is in -1 oxidation state. But here the oxygen in water molecule is simple oxygen, that is -2 oxidation state. So -1 becomes -2, that is decreased by 1. So this indicates the reduction of hydrogen peroxide. because the oxidation number of oxygen is decreased by 1. But if you see this oxygen, this is a neutral molecule, and we know very well if a molecule is neutral, then its oxidation state is 0. So you can call it this oxygen, which is having -1 oxidation state, now it becomes 0. So -1 to 0, that is increased by 1, and as the oxidation number increases, it is known as oxidation. So the same substance, that is hydrogen peroxide or the oxygen in hydrogen peroxide, is having oxidation as well as reduction. That's why this reaction is also an example of disproportionation. So this is very simple concept, though it is a newer concept to you, but it is very simple. You have to identify a substance when the same substance is having both the half reactions, oxidation as well as reduction, then such reaction is considered as disproportionation. So just pause the video, write down this definition and these two examples, then we will see some more examples and some extra things also. Okay, now let me tell you something. How can we decide that whether this species can have a disproportionation or not? So for that, if a species is having intermediate oxidation state, then it can go in disproportionation, because the species must oxidized as well as reduced. That means the oxidation number of that species must be increased as well as decreased, and this kind of thing can happen only when the oxidation state of that species is a kind of intermediate. If it is having highest oxidation state, then it will not be able to go further higher oxidation state. In that case, oxidation will not occur, reduction will occur. So it is not said to be a disproportionation. And if a species is having minimum oxidation state, then it will not go further minimum. So there is only one possibility to increase its oxidation state. That means it can have only oxidation if it is having minimum oxidation state, and if it is in maximum oxidation state, it can have only reduction. So a species to have disproportionation property must be in intermediate oxidation state. So one more question will arise. How can we decide for a species which can have which oxidation number is maximum and which is minimum? So you have to remember these kind of things. In our further studies, there are some chapters, namely P block element and D and F block element. When you learn these chapters, you will be able to know which is the maximum oxidation state for which element. But for this condition or for this lecture, right now, we are going to make a list of some element and their maximum and minimum oxidation state. And you have to remember that thing for now. Okay. So, I will write the symbol of element, its maximum oxidation number and its minimum oxidation number. So if I say chlorine, then chlorine can have maximum +7 and minimum -1. You have to remember these things. Chlorine is an element which can have maximum +7 and minimum -1 oxidation state in its compound. So if chlorine in any compound is having +7 oxidation state, then it will not involve in disproportionation. And if chlorine is in -1 oxidation state, then also it will not go through disproportionation. So chlorine, to have disproportionation, must have oxidation state between +7 and -1. It should be intermediate between them. Okay. Now, second, if I say sulfur, so sulfur can have +6 as the maximum oxidation state and minimum will be -2. third element, suppose phosphorus can have maximum +5 and minimum -3. Now, if we say carbon, then it will have +4 and -4. Maximum +4, minimum -4. If I say manganese, then it will have maximum +7 and minimum, as it is a metal, then the minimum oxidation state of metal is always 0, because metal cannot have negative oxidation states. So all metal have minimum oxidation state is equal to 0. Manganese, as it is a metal, therefore its oxidation state as minimum is 0. Fe maximum +3, and as Fe is a metal, its minimum will be 0. In case of oxygen, oxygen can have maximum oxidation state as +2 and minimum oxidation state as -2. And fluorine can have maximum oxidation state 0 and minimum oxidation state -1. And the last but not least, hydrogen can have maximum oxidation state +1 and minimum -1. Hope you can see these things which I have written at the bottom of this book. Hydrogen is having +1 as maximum and -1 as minimum. So right now you have to remember the maxima and minima for these elements. It will be helpful to us to solve many problems related to disproportionation. Okay, now let us move further. Let us solve one or two more examples of disproportionation which are given in our textbook. So, pause the video and write down this table, and I am going to write one or two more reactions of disproportionation. Okay. In our textbook, there is a reaction given like this. P4 plus OH minus gives PH3 plus H2PO2 minus 1. I am not balancing this equation. I have just written this equation. Okay. Now let us consider the oxidation state of phosphorus in reactant as well as product. So P4, which is a molecule, so its oxidation state is always 0. And here in PH3, hydrogen with phosphorus will have +1 oxidation state, and +1 multiplied by 3 is equal to +3, and if it goes to the other side of equal to, then it will become -3. So -3 is the oxidation state of phosphorus in PH3. But in case of H2PO2 -1, if we count the oxidation state of this phosphorus by our method, here the charge is -1, therefore I have written -1 after equal. Okay. 2 multiplied by +1 plus for phosphorus we will write x plus 2 multiplied by for oxygen it is -2 is equal to -1. So +2 plus x -4 is equal to -1. Now this -4 plus 2 will give us -2. That -2 go to the other side of the equal to, then it will become +2. +2 and -1 will give us +1. So here the oxidation state of phosphorus in H2PO2 -1 is +1. Now check it out. This phosphorus is having oxidation state 0, and here it becomes -3, so it is a decrease, which is a reduction of phosphorus. And the same phosphorus is having +1 oxidation state, so 0 to +1, that is increase, so it is an example of oxidation. So same species is having oxidation as well as reduction, therefore it is a disproportionation reaction. Okay, now let us write one more reaction which is also given in our textbook. The reaction is S8 plus 12OH minus gives 4S minus 2 plus 2S2O3 minus 2 plus 6H2O. 6H2O. Now this is the reaction, and it is also an example of disproportionation. Let us take it out. Sulfur, which is a neutral molecule, oxidation state is always 0. Here it is directly given S minus 2, that is, this sulfur is in minus 2 oxidation state. So we can clearly see that the oxidation state of sulfur is decreased 0 to minus 2, that is decreased by 2, and as it is decreased, it is said to be a reduction reaction. Now this sulfur must have the oxidation state greater than 0. That means it should be oxidized. Okay, now let us count the oxidation state of S2O3. Minus 2 should be over here. Yes, it is minus 2. S2O3 minus 2 is equal to minus 2. Now 2 multiplied by X plus 3 multiplied by, for oxygen we will take minus 2 is equal to minus 2. So 2X minus 3 to the 6 is equal to minus 2. So minus 6 becomes plus 6, plus 6 minus 2 will give us plus 4, and that plus 4 will be divided by 2. So ultimately we will have plus 2 oxidation state of sulfur in S2O3 minus 2. It is plus 2. So from 0 to plus 2, that is increased. So if the oxidation state increases, it is known as oxidation. So here sulfur is having oxidation as well as reduction, therefore it is an example of disproportionation. So you are able to, I suppose you are able to find out whether a reaction is having disproportionation or not. All you have to do is to find out a single species which must have increased as well as decreased oxidation state. Okay, pause the video, write down these examples. Okay. Now, let us take a solved example which is given in our textbook, and you will be able to answer that question by using this table. Okay. So, the question is like this. Which of the following will not have disproportionation? Question number 8.5. 8.5 is the question. Which of the following species will not have disproportionation? And the species given are ClO minus, ClO2 minus, ClO3 minus, ClO4 minus. 4 examples are given, and we are asked to find which of these will not have disproportionation. So as I told you that if a species is in intermediate oxidation state, then only it will have disproportionation. If a species is having intermediate oxidation state, you have to remember this note. Intermediate oxidation state should be there for a species to have disproportionation. That means if it is having higher or lower, highest or lowest oxidation state, then it will not have disproportionation. Okay. So all we have to do is we have to count the oxidation state of chlorine in all these 4 species. And we know very well the maximum oxidation state for chlorine is +7 and the minimum is -1. So if chlorine is having oxidation state other than +7 or -1, then definitely it will have disproportionation. And if it is having either +7 or -1, then disproportionation will not be seen. Okay, so check it out. Now I am going to write directly the oxidation state of chlorine in all these species. -2, +2, -1. That means this chlorine is in +1 oxidation state. This is in +3 oxidation state. How? Answer you know very well. If you have any doubt, then watch our previous videos in which I have taught you to find out the oxidation state of a species from any compound. In this, the oxidation state of chlorine is +5 and in this it is +7. Now +1. Maximum +7, minimum -1, but here it is +1. That is, it is intermediate. It is between +7 to -1. That means it can have oxidation as well as reduction. So it will go in disproportionation. +3, it is also between +7 and -1. I hope you can understand what I am telling you. +7 and -1, that means these are the two ends. If a chlorine is having oxidation state between these two ends, then it will have disproportionation. Otherwise, it will not. So +3 is between +7 and -1. So yes, it will show disproportionation. +7 again between +7 +5 again between +7 and -1. It will show disproportionation. But here it is in +7. And as it is having +7 oxidation state, it is the maximum, so it will not show disproportionation. Why? The reason in ClO4 minus, chlorine is in +7, which is its maximum oxidation number. Therefore, it will have only reduction. It will not have oxidation. Therefore, it will not show disproportionation. This would be the statement of our answer. So, this is what the disproportionation is. In this video, we have only discussed about only one word, which is disproportionation. A very important word. There are so many questions which are asked in previous examinations of JEE and NEET in which disproportionation is used, and this reaction is also useful in many chapters. The chapter of organic chemistry also, there is a reaction known as Cannizzaro reaction. We will learn about it in the future lectures. Okay, so I hope you can understand now what is the disproportionation. So just pause the video, write down all these things and prepare the definitions and examples of these 4 kind of redox reactions. So in next video we will see some extra topics which are not given in our textbook but which are very essential for us to learn. So till we meet next time, have a nice day.